Welcome to Across the Globe. Today we will learn about HttpClientModule. The HttpClient module in Angular facilitates communication between an Angular application and server endpoints. This module provides functionality for fetching, posting, updating, and deleting data. For example, in an e-commerce website built with Angular, the HttpClient module can be utilized to retrieve product information from a server, add new products to the database, update existing product details, or delete products that are no longer available. The HttpClient module in Angular allows for making HTTP requests to interact with a server-side backend. To utilize this module, first import the HttpClient module in the app.module.ts file. Then, inject the HttpClient service into the constructor of the desired service or component where HTTP requests need to be made. For instance, if an application needs to retrieve data from an external API to display on a component, importing and injecting HttpClient module and HttpClient respectively is crucial for enabling communication with the API and handling the received data effectively. This sequence ensures that the Angular application can effectively communicate with external resources using HTTP. To perform a GET request using the HttpClient module, you can utilize the GET method of the HttpClient service. In Angular with TypeScript, an instance of HttpClient is injected into a service or component. By calling the GET method on this instance, you can send a GET request to the specified URL. For instance, in an Angular service or component, after injecting the HttpClient module, as shown in the provided Python-like code example, you can create a method, getData, in the example, that uses this.http.get, your URL here, to fetch data from a server. This approach is commonly used for retrieving data from APIs or services over the internet. By invoking the GET method with a URL parameter pointing to an API endpoint, HTTPS JSON placeholder.typicode/posts in the supplied example, you can actively retrieve data in JSON format, which can then be processed within your Angular application. Resolving this GET request will yield data such as a list of posts from the specified endpoint. This fetched data could subsequently be utilized for display, processing, or any other required operations within your application. The observable returned by an HTTP request in Angular allows us to manage the response data efficiently. Upon subscribing to the observable, we can handle the received data within the subscribed function. In the provided Python example, the http.get method is used to fetch data from a specified URL, and the subscribe function is employed to print the retrieved data to the console. This approach is widely used in Angular applications to retrieve and process data from external sources, such as APIs. The HttpClient module is like a postal worker who delivers mail between a sender, client, and a recipient, server. Just like the postal worker takes packages from one place to another, the HttpClient module sends requests from the client to the server and receives responses back. The HttpClient module acts as the intermediary, ensuring that messages are delivered accurately and efficiently. In a program, the HttpClient module would be responsible for establishing a connection with the server, sending requests, and handling responses, just like the postal worker delivers mail. Hey, Code Conquerors, ready to level up? With TechLearn ATG, showcase your skills with official course certificates. Just visit our site and start. Need that extra boost? Get tailored learning, 24/7 support and expert guidance, coding smarter, growing faster, and making learning fun. Go to our website across the globe, w.atg.world. The code snippet showcases an Angular application that utilizes the HttpClient module for making HTTP requests. The data service class is created with a method getUsers that sends a GET request to fetch user data from a JSON API endpoint. The user list component is responsible for rendering the user data retrieved from the API. In the app module, the necessary modules like browser module, HttpClient module, and the component's services are imported and declared. The HttpClient module is crucial for using the HttpClient service to perform HTTP operations. At runtime, the main file bootstraps the Angular application by initializing the app module with the help of Platform Browser Dynamic. Real-world example application/use case. Imagine you are developing an e-commerce platform where you need to fetch product details from a back-end server. You can utilize the HttpClient module to retrieve product information, such as name, price, and availability, and display it in your Angular app to provide a seamless shopping experience for users. In the realm of e-commerce, the HttpClient module can be likened to the supply chain of a global retail giant. When a customer places an order through the company's website, the HttpClient module functions as the logistics system that communicates with various warehouses and suppliers across the globe to procure the requested items. It ensures that the order is processed efficiently and that the customer receives their products in a timely manner. Furthermore, in the context of IoT, Internet of Things, the HttpClient module serves as the bridge connecting smart devices to a centralized server. For instance, in a smart home setup, the HttpClient module facilitates the exchange of data between sensors, thermostats, security cameras, and the cloud server. This communication allows for real-time monitoring, data analysis, and remote control of the connected devices, enhancing convenience and automation for homeowners. Across the globe, the HttpClient module plays a pivotal role in facilitating seamless communication and data exchange in various industrial and technological applications, making it an essential component in the interconnected digital landscape. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next video.